Breaking news, everybody! 2ET Sutherland, or Scholastic, or whatever the whole body behind Wings of Fire, has just released the first chapter of The Flames of Hope, and we're just gonna take a good look at it, because it's cool, and I'm excited to see what it's all about. I've read it sort of once, so I kind of know what we're getting into, but we're gonna look in here and take a look. There was also a few other things released. There was a little excerpt that Tui read a little while ago, I think, on an event. And also there was an audio excerpt, which I've also listened to. I've read the other event thing as well. This is the one that seems to have the most. The audio one gave us some confirmed that what my suspicions of the last Wings of Fire video I did about reacting to the Flames of Hope cover and the description, and how the abyss is the breath of evil and all that kind of cool stuff. So that was confirmed in that little audio excerpt we got, and how there is a human named Raven, apparently, which is kind of cool. By the way, spoilers for, like, Arc 3, or not Arc 4, Arc 3. So, I've got the PDF down here that I'm looking at here, and I've got it right down here, and we're just going to take a look. So, why don't we hop on in? So we start off here with, I'm not going to read it because that just takes forever, but we have some stuff about Luna wanting to change the world, all that kind of cool stuff. Well, I like this analogy about weaving, because I never thought about that before, where it's like, she wished the world was like weaving, where she could tear out the bits where the wet were knotted and wrong colors twisted in the wrong places and reweave it all again. That's kind of cool, I like that. I like how these questions are like, here, it's like, how do you fix that? How do you fix these prejudices and things like that were so embedded into the culture of the tribe and like the whole being of the hive wings and the silk wings? How do you get rid of that? Getting rid of Queen Wasp won't do much. And also, she doesn't yet realize they don't know about the breath of evil. No, they do know about the breath of evil, sorry. They do know about the breath of evil now. But she definitely seems, like, very focused on, as far as I can tell, Queen Wasp. And where I think that's a lot of people were, a lot of dragons in the book were very focused on Queen Wasp. Queen Wasp is the problem, or the hive wings are the problem. When really, it's the breath of evil, so, which I think is interesting, because, like, oh, the hive wings are all bad. The Queen Wasp, it's all that. Really, the bad thing is the breath of evil, and we know it can affect humans too, which is very important. I tell you, it's got to be important, because Dragon Slayer was not just to tell the story of all that kind of stuff, what it seemed like, what it was kind of marketed as. I think it was to introduce the humans, because the humans have got to be important. There is some sort of important human thing in there. I don't know what it is, but humans are really important in the Flames of Hope. It seems like they're going to be. I don't think that's an interesting direction that Tui is going in. I don't disagree with it. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want humans in Wings of Fire, where I actually think that's actually a really cool idea, where it's like, instead of the humans riding the dragons, the dragons with the human, a little bit of human, and a few humans in there, all that kind of thing. Where a lot of stories are like, Aragon and Saphir, there's only a few dragons, there's lots of humans. In this case, it's all dragons and a few humans. Well, there are lots of humans, but they're not really, in with the dragons. And I think they're at a turning point in their history where the humans and the dragons, or the scavengers, whatever you want to call them, are very starting to connect, especially with Dragon Slayer, because all that those events brought it to connecting. So I think the humans are very important in the Flames of Hope. Here's a line on page 4. Luna didn't particularly like thinking of herself as a tool or a weapon. She had planned on changing the world in a silkwing way, not setting her enemies on fire way. And I think that's cool, because we talked about that a bit in like, all the way through the previous books, where, especially with Sundew, Blue, and Cricket, in the first Arc 3 books. They often think of Blue as a tool to use as his flame silk and all that, when really when he argues that I'm not a tool, I'm a human, or a dragon, whatever you want to say there. It turns out that the first chapter starts on when they're just about to leave for Pentella with the 9 dragons. I forgot, I can't remember which ones. I can't remember exactly who came on it, but there was Pineapple and quite a few others. And then there's Ren and Sky, I think. One of the dragons went galloping past, surging into the water and plunging his head below the surface. His human stopped near the edge of the water waves, crossing her arms and sighed. Sky and Ren. I love how they think of it as like his human. When really it's almost like Ren has a pet dragon. I love that. It's not really that way, but they're kind of friends. But like, especially in the beginning when Sky's younger, it's like Ren's taking care of him and all that. That's kind of cool. Oh, there's a sweet little moment with Jerboa. Jerboa was a mixed up character, my goodness. Well, there are multiple Jerboas. But, you know, we have the cool moment with Jerboa and all that, and, like, Luna's, like, weaving. Luna was able to learn to weave. I guess Luna would have learned to weave before she got her silks. So, maybe she probably did. That's what I was like, wait a sec. It's like, she's gonna, also she mentions how Jerboa walks kind of oddly. Haha, yes, we all know why after book 14. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, her reaction to Cricket every time, I like that. It's like, oh, funny enough, it's the exact same reaction that Sundew has in the beginning of book 13 to Cricket. It's so funny. Sundew has the same thing, like, oh, she's like immediately tensed and like all that, and then Luna's like immediately like, ah. Oh, she's angry about Cricket and all that, and like how, she says, also there was a small part of Luna that was really angry that Blue and Swordtail had fallen into Wasp's mind control clutches, but Cricket hadn't. After all, why should this blissful lucky Hivewing escape yet again? But the dragons Luna loved didn't. I love seeing, because each book has a different perspective, I love seeing how each dragon views each other when you really get to see how they are inside. I loved seeing Cricket, and like, Cricket seems just like, a little bit like bubbly, but then she's so much more than that. And Luna doesn't see that quite yet. She's like, oh, just the lucky little Hivewing, she's not. She's done so much, and she knew she had a rough life. And not all those dragons get that. Oh, yes, and then Tsunami shows her the dream visitor. Luna's heart spit up magic. She really sees, like, Moon's powers and Anna's magic is, like, the one-and-all solution, but every time Anna's magic gets involved, either Darkstalker comes back or something bad happens. Please let us say it'll help my tribe. Nope. She says, I've already let Cricket use it. She'll make plans. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, when I first read this, I don't see why sure for first, not me. How is that fair? I'm sensitive. There's gonna be an arc here. There's gonna be a cool arc where she's like, she's a bad guy. She's not. And kind of like, you mean she always the vengeful thing, but a lot of the Silkwings, like Swordtail and Luna especially, they're kind of like, well, Hivewings are bad, and they're like, well, like, good riddance of the Hivewings kind of thing. I'm also interested to see if there's a Breath of Evil antidote, because we haven't really seen that yet. After Dragon saw his mischief, his loud jokes, his reckless arguments with the guards or teachers, they might notice that he was strong and brave too, but hardly anyone seems a true Swordtail under all his noisy silliness. Yeah, I always like, okay, if we're gonna have a book 15, we're gonna have a Swordtail or a Luna, because Swordtail would be kind of cool. Though writing Swordtail would be so hard, because you see him so differently on the outside. I imagine he'd be very different, a little bit different on the inside. Be kind of like, whoa, this doesn't feel like Swordtail. So I understand why she chose Luna instead. Swordtail, like, some characters are a lot easier to write, from someone else's point of view, because that's kind of like the thing they put across, and then if you write it from their own point of view, it's kind of like, whoa, this is very different. But I like Luna's choice. I think that's a good choice. Yeah, I think Tui mentioned somewhere that she wanted to do another Silkwing before she decided. Yeah, Luna was a bet for a long time that she'd be the book 15 one. I'm interested to see how what they're gonna do for Luna, because I haven't really fallen in love with Luna like the other ones, like the others, like Cricket, Blue, and Sundew. We kind of fell in love with them because we've been together, like, on the Swordtail. I'm interested to see how she'll do Luna, because we haven't really got much Luna. Luna blew it to the sea before we could do anything. So in like the first book of of a third arc, so we haven't really gotten much Luna except in the epilogues and prologues. Oh, here this is creepy. It's like he's on Misbehavior's way in a dream, and they were. Oh, that's kind of creepy. It feels very dreamlike when they read this. It's like, oh, he's on Misbehavior's way and all of that, and it's kind of like weird. Well, yeah, the whole thing where it feels very dreamlike here, it definitely does. Uh, oh yeah, moving is tricky though. Not sure if everyone knows that. Hey, who's the boss of me? Are these muscles are these my muscles or what? Don't tell them what to do. I look at them arguing back, not listening to me. Hey, do what I say, stupid talents. That's so the breath of evil. Imagine feeling like that. That'd be terrible. So they're both Blue and Swordtail are guarding Silkwing so that Wasp can put the can Queen Wasp can or the breath of evil can through Queen Wasp infect him with the breath of evil. Also, I still think that Flame Silk would be somehow important because, like, Tui also always introduces one of these little things that's going to be important. This doesn't seem important in the beginning. Like, Animus Magic started as this little thing and then it got really big. Or there's just little things that, oh, but maybe it won't. But I think Flame Silk has something to do with it because there's always been this talk about Flame Silk and how important it is to everything. There's got to be something important. Maybe it's something how the Breath of Evil can be destroyed. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Flame Silk. But I think it's got to be important because there's all this focus on it. So. And Luna's a flame silk, and it's called the Flames of Hope, for goodness sake. Like, there's got to be something important here with the flame silk. She told us about, oh, yeah, talking about Moon. There's a dragon like clear sight. Coming from the abyss that we think is connected to mind control. Yes, that's kind of like where the brain is, maybe. I don't know. Or like the center of the breath of evil. There's going to be something bad's going to happen there, I know it. Like Sundu's going to get possessed or something. I saw a theory somewhere. There was like, Sundu's going to get possessed, and there's for at least for a while. And I was like, ooh, yeah. Be bad. There, yeah, they all the abyss thing where they're gonna go down to the abyss. Oh, I'm worried and I'm excited to see how that goes out. I'm excited for this book so much. Oh, then they talk about when they confessed their love. Aw. Oh, and there's the last line. Luna was back on the beach, early morning light brushing on the clouds pink overhead. Tears were rolling down her snout, and her talons held a cold sapphire instead of Swordtail's warm claws. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, no. Order your copy today. Wah! You can order it at Books A Million, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, IndieBound, Bookshop, Kobo, all that kind of stuff, Target, whatever. Okay. This was a cool. I like you sometimes get these before a book release, and I don't know. It's kind of cool. It comes out on April 4th. I'll be doing Wings of Fire videos, kind of leading up in March till then. Let me know what Wings of Fire videos you'd love me to do, because I've been rereading Wings of Fire, and I have lots of. I'm remembering all of them, and I have all the extra ideas for Wings of Fire videos. I'm gonna talk about the Scavengers a bit. I think we're gonna do a bit of discussion about Pantala. And I think that's going to be what we're going to do. And yeah, I'm super excited for the Flames of Hope. I'm interested to see how it ends, what kind of goes on there, how it all goes down. And I'll be making videos about the Flames of Hope as well as just leading up to it. And yeah, I hope you have a day full of wonder. And a day full of Wings of Fire. That's probably a good idea too.